She said at the engagement dinner, "I don't think you're husband material. I'm ending this." Her relatives laughed like it was entertainment. I said, "Great timing." Then I took the ring back and raised my glass. To better decisions. Everyone went silent when I added, "I'm 36, and until last Saturday night, I thought I was weeks away from getting married." My fiancé and I had been together for 3 years. We met at a mutual friend's birthday party, started dating shortly after, got engaged last November. The wedding was scheduled for late June. Everything seemed on track. Her family was intense. That's the kindest way to put it. Loud, opinionated, the kind of people who think brutal honesty is a personality trait. My fiancé was usually different when we were alone. Softer, more considerate. But around her family, she'd transform. Start making jokes at my expense. Join in when they'd mock something I'd said or done. I chalked it up to family dynamics. Everyone acts different around their relatives, right? The engagement dinner was her family's idea, not the original celebration dinner we'd had months ago when I proposed. This was a second one, specifically because her aunt and uncle were visiting from across the country and needed to meet me properly before the wedding. My fiancé insisted we do it, said it was important to her. I agreed, because that's what you do when you love someone. The reservation was at an upscale steakhouse downtown. Private room for 14 people. Her parents, her 2 brothers and their wives, the aunt and uncle, 2 cousins, and us. I wore my best suit, brought an expensive bottle of wine for the table, prepared myself for an evening of her family's particular brand of humor. Dinner started at 7 p.m. on Saturday. I got there 15 minutes early. Her family rolled in exactly on time, loud and already laughing about something. My fiancée arrived with her mother, looked beautiful, kissed my cheek, and immediately got pulled into a conversation with her aunt about wedding dress alterations. We ordered drinks. Appetizers came. The conversation flowed, mostly them asking me questions that felt like tests. What did I do for work? How much did I make? What were my career ambitions? Where did I see myself in 10 years? Her uncle was particularly aggressive with it, leaning back in his chair like he was conducting an interview. I answered everything honestly. I work in software project management, make decent money, own my condo, have a solid retirement plan. Not flashy, but stable, comfortable. Her uncle made a face. Comfortable, that's one way to put it. Everyone laughed, including my fiancé. Dinner arrived around 8:15, steaks, sides, more wine. The conversation shifted to the wedding. Her mother was going through details, venue, catering, music. Then her aunt asked the question, "So, are you excited to be joining this crazy family?" I smiled. "Absolutely. Looking forward to it." Her older brother smirked. "He says that now. Wait until he's stuck with us permanently." More laughter. "Seriously, though," her younger brother added, "you sure you're ready for this? Marriage is no joke, especially into this family." "I think so. I love your sister. That's what matters." Her father spoke up for the first time in a while. "Love's important. But marriage is more than love. It's compatibility, partnership, being able to handle real life together." I agree. I think we handle real life well together. He didn't look convinced. "Do you? Because from where I'm sitting, you seem like you're in over your head." I felt the shift in the room. Everyone was watching. This wasn't small talk anymore. "I don't think I am," I said carefully. Her mother jumped in. "Sweetheart, your father's just saying that marriage is hard. Harder than dating. You need to be certain." "I am certain." My fiancé hadn't said anything, just sat there pushing food around her plate. Her aunt leaned forward. "Can I be honest? And I mean really honest?" "Sure." "I don't see it. You two, I don't see the spark, the chemistry. You seem like roommates. Nice roommates, but still." "I disagree. We have plenty of chemistry." Her uncle laughed. "Chemistry. He says chemistry." The table laughed with him, except my fiancé. She was staring at her plate. "Honey, her mother said, turning to my fiancé. You've been quiet. What do you think? She looked up. Her eyes met mine for a second, then darted away. I don't know. You don't know? I asked. I mean, they have a point. Sometimes I wonder if we're really right for each other. You're wondering this now? 3 weeks before the wedding? I've been wondering for a while. The table went completely silent. You could hear the kitchen staff through the walls. Why didn't you say something? I don't know. I thought it would pass. I thought I'd feel more certain as the date got closer. And you don't? She shook her head. No, I don't. Her father cleared his throat. Maybe this dinner was a good idea after all. Better to figure this out now than after the wedding. I felt like I was underwater. Everything sounded muffled and far away. So, what are you saying? I asked her directly. She took a deep breath. I don't think you're husband material. I'm ending this. Her brothers both laughed, actually laughed out loud. Her uncle was smirking into his wine glass. Her cousins looked shocked, but also entertained, like this was dinner theater. I sat there for a moment, processing. Then something clicked. Maybe it was the laughter. Maybe it was the 3 years of her family treating me like a punchline. Maybe it was her sitting there, breaking up with me in front of an audience, and not even having the decency to look remorseful. Great timing, I said. She looked at me. What? I reached into my pocket and pulled out the ring box. I'd been carrying it around like an idiot, showing it off to people when they asked about the wedding. I opened it, took out the engagement ring she was wearing, and dropped it into the box. She didn't even resist. Then I stood up, raised my wine glass. To better decisions. Everyone stared. Her father's face was unreadable. Her mother looked horrified. What are you doing? My now ex-fiancé asked. Making a better decision. I took a sip of wine, set the glass down. Since we're being honest, let me share something. This dinner cost $2,800. I paid for it. The wine I brought was $400. The engagement ring I just took back was $12,000. The deposits on our wedding venue, catering, band, photographer, $18,000. All in my name, all refundable up to 30 days before the wedding. Her mother gasped. You're not? I'm canceling everything tomorrow, getting every penny back. Her father stood up. Now hold on. Hold on, for what? Your daughter just ended our engagement in front of her entire family like it was a game show. I think we're past holding on. I looked at my ex-fiancée. She was crying now. You couldn't do this in private? You needed an audience? I didn't plan this, she whispered. You didn't plan to humiliate me? Could have fooled me? Her older brother stood up. Hey man, calm down. Calm down? You laughed. You all laughed when she ended our engagement. Like it was funny. Like I was a joke. We didn't mean... Yes, you did. You've meant it for 3 years, every dig, every comment about how I'm not exciting enough or ambitious enough or whatever enough. I took it because I loved her, but I'm done taking it. I grabbed my coat, looked at the table one more time. Enjoy the rest of your dinner. It's paid for. Consider it my parting gift. Then I added the rest. And by the way, the condo you've been pressuring her to move into after the wedding? The one you said was too small for a married couple? I'm keeping it. Because it's mine. Bought and paid for before I even met her. Something to remember when you're explaining to your friends why the wedding's canceled. I walked out. Didn't look back. Got to my car, sat in the driver's seat, and realized my hands were shaking. Update 1. I drove home in a fog. Didn't cry, didn't rage. Just felt numb. Got to my condo around 9:30 p.m., walked inside, and sat on the couch, staring at nothing for about an hour. My phone started buzzing around 10:45. Her, then her mother, then her father, then her older brother. I declined all of them. Finally turned my phone off completely and went to bed. Sunday morning, I woke up at 6 a.m., couldn't sleep, made coffee, sat on my balcony, Watched the sun come up, turned my phone back on around 7. 43 missed calls, 67 text messages. I didn't read any of them. Instead, I started making calls. First to the wedding venue. Explained the situation. They were surprisingly understanding. Processed the cancellation. Confirmed the refund would hit my account in 5 to 7 business days. Same with the caterer, the band, the photographer. Everyone was professional about it. By noon, I'd canceled everything and had confirmation emails for all of it. Then I texted her, "Everything's canceled, deposits being refunded. Don't contact me again." She called immediately. I declined. She called again. I declined again. Then the texts started. "Please let me explain. I made a mistake. My family pushed me into saying that. I didn't mean it. Please call me." I blocked her number. Her mother tried next. Left a voicemail. "We need to talk about this like adults. You can't just throw away 3 years because of one difficult conversation." I blocked her too. Her father sent a text. "You embarrassed our entire family at that restaurant. You owe us an apology." Blocked. By Sunday evening, I'd blocked everyone from her family. Went to the gym, worked out until I couldn't think anymore, came home and ordered pizza. Monday morning, I went to work like nothing happened. Told my boss I needed to use some vacation days later in the month, days I'd scheduled for the honeymoon. He asked if everything was okay. I said I'd canceled my wedding. He didn't push for details, just said to take whatever time I needed. Update 2. Tuesday afternoon, she showed up at my condo, buzzed from downstairs. I didn't answer. She buzzed again and again. Finally, my neighbor let her in because she said it was an emergency. She knocked on my door. I looked through the peephole. She was crying, holding flowers. "Please," she said. "I know you're in there. Please just talk to me." I didn't open the door. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I said those things. I was nervous and my family was putting all this pressure on me and I panicked." I stayed silent. "The wedding doesn't have to be canceled. We can still fix this. Please." I walked away from the door, went to my bedroom, put on headphones. She knocked for another 20 minutes before finally leaving. Wednesday, her older brother showed up at my office. Security called to ask if I wanted him sent up. I said no. He apparently waited in the lobby for an hour before leaving. Thursday, her best friend reached out via social media. Long message about how my ex was devastated and made a mistake and really loves me. I deleted it without responding. Friday, 1 week after the dinner, my ex sent a letter. Actual handwritten letter, delivered by mail. I didn't open it, just threw it away. That weekend, I started cleaning out my condo. Anything that was hers or reminded me of her, gone. Donated it all. Clothes she'd left, toiletries, books, decorations, filled 4 garbage bags, took them to a donation center, came back to an empty space that finally felt like mine again. Update 3. Week 2 post-dinner, her father called from a different number. I answered without thinking. "We need to talk," he said. "No, we don't. You humiliated my daughter in front of our entire family. Your daughter humiliated me first, in front of those same people, after they'd spent the evening treating me like a joke. That's not... We weren't... Yes, you were. You've been doing it for 3 years. I just finally stopped tolerating it. She wants to fix things. I don't. You're throwing away 3 years over one bad night." "I'm not throwing away anything. She ended it. I just accepted it and moved on faster than she expected." "You're being stubborn." "I'm being done. There's a difference." He hung up. I blocked that number too. Week 3, mutual friends started reaching out. Most were supportive. A few suggested I was overreacting or being too harsh. I stopped responding to those ones. One friend asked if I was okay. Actually checked in on me, not just fishing for gossip. We got drinks. I told him everything. He was the first person I'd really talked to about it. "That's brutal, man," he said. "The way her family treated you." "Yeah. You did the right thing, walking away. Doesn't feel right yet. Just feels like surviving. That's all you can do right now. Survive. The feeling better comes later. He was right. Update 4. Month 2 after the dinner. I was starting to feel normal again. Work was busy. I'd picked up some new hobbies, started rock climbing, joined a book club, reconnected with old friends I'd lost touch with during the relationship. My ex stopped trying to contact me directly, but her friends kept popping up. Different people, same message. She misses you. She made a mistake. She's sorry. I ignored all of them. Then her mother showed up at my gym, waited outside, approached me as I was leaving. We need to talk. No, we don't. Please, just 5 minutes. Against my better judgment, I stopped. 5 minutes. She's not doing well. Since you left, she's been depressed, not eating, not sleeping. You need to see her. I need to see her? After what she did? She made a mistake. People make mistakes. She didn't make a mistake. She made a choice in front of her entire family after letting them mock me all night. We weren't mocking you. Yes, you were. You've been doing it since the day I met you. I was never good enough, never successful enough, never exciting enough. And she went along with it every time. That's not true. It is true. And I'm done pretending it isn't. What about the 3 years you spent together? What about them? They're gone. She ended them. Not me. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. Something your family could learn. I walked to my car. She followed. If you won't see her, at least give back the things she left at your place. I donated them all. You what? Donated them. 2 weeks ago, they're gone. You had no right. They were at my place. She never came to get them. I had every right. I got in my car and drove away. Blocked her mother's number. Again. Final update. It's been 4 months since the engagement dinner. I'm doing well, really well. Moved past the anger, past the hurt, into something that feels like actual peace. My ex got engaged to someone else last month. Heard it through mutual friends. Some guy she apparently dated briefly before me. They reconnected after our breakup. Good for them. I genuinely don't care. The money from the wedding deposits is sitting in my investment account. The engagement ring I sold. Used the money to take a solo trip abroad, something I'd always wanted to do but never had time for during the relationship. Her family hasn't contacted me since her mother showed up at my gym. I assume they're all involved in planning her new wedding. Hope it goes better than ours would have. Someone asked me last week if I regret how I handled the dinner, if I think I was too harsh, too public with my response. No, I said. She chose to end things publicly. I just chose to accept it publicly. If she wanted privacy, she should have ended it in private. But you embarrassed her? She embarrassed me first, for 3 years. I just stopped accepting it. I'm 36. Single. Own my own place. Have a good job, good friends, and self-respect I'd lost somewhere along the way. That's more than I had 4 months ago. Would I have preferred a normal breakup? Sure. Private, respectful, mutual. Absolutely. But that's not what happened. What happened is I got humiliated at a dinner I paid for by people I'd tried to impress, in front of a woman I'd loved who didn't have the decency to defend me. So I took my ring back, canceled my wedding, and walked away with my dignity intact. Best $20,800 I ever spent. Edit 1. People are asking what I said in the rest that made everyone silent. I said, and by the way, the condo you've been pressuring her to move into after the wedding? The one you said was too small for a married couple? I'm keeping it. Because it's mine. Bought and paid for before I even met her. Something to remember when you're explaining to your friends why the wedding's canceled. Edit 2. For those asking why I didn't see the red flags, I did. But I thought love meant accepting someone's flaws, including how they acted around their family. Turns out there's a difference between accepting flaws and accepting disrespect.